Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Sharakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadodam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mugam karoti vachalam pangum lange girim yat kripa tamaham mande Shri Guru Dina Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Meshwaram. Hare Krishna. So, I would like to welcome all of you for today's study of Sri Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 1. So, we are almost towards the end of this chapter. Okay, let's begin. So, let me all hear from you. Okay, so what were the reasons for Arjuna for not fighting? Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 reasons we have already discussed, right? We are in the last section. Can anybody say, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, first reason, compassion
Yes.
towards his family and relatives.
Right.
Second reason, no enjoyment.
Okay.
And the third reason is sinful reaction.
Fear of sinful reaction. Correct.
Yeah, fear of sinful reaction. And fourth reason is destruction of family traditions.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. So let's continue from there. Okay. All of you can see my screen, I hope. So this is the last verse we discussed. I think 40 up to 40 we discussed. 41 onwards we need to discuss today. So here we can see from the verse number 39, Arjuna is speaking the fourth reason for not fighting. So he says he's speaking about the harmful effects of the destruction or destroying the family, what will happen. He's saying, so basically he is speaking few reasons here, and we can see one by one. So first verse we already discussed, 41. Now few more verses in the same context. In fact, up to 43, up to verse 43, he is speaking the in the same theme, in the same reason he's saying. So once we complete this 43 up to 43, we will see, we will consolidate, the points from the all these verses from 39 onwards through 43. Okay, let's go ahead with 41. Sankaro narakayeva kulajnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hesham lupta pindodagakriyaha. Sankaro narakayeva kulajnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hesham lupta pindodagakriyaha. Sankaro narakayeva kulajnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hesham lupta pindodagakriyaha. Yes. Anybody would like to recite, please?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sankaro naragayeva kulajnanam kulasya ja patanti pitaro hesham lupta pindodagakriya. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, Prabhuji's, anybody from Prabhuji's side?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Yeah.
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। शंकरो नरकायैव कुलग्राणां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषा लुप्तपिण्डोदक्रिया।
Thank you, Prabhu. Somebody else, please, translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because of the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here, Sri Krishna, Arjuna is speaking, and Srila Prabhupada has given very beautiful purport. So let's go through the translation and purport. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So he is saying, Arjuna is saying, an increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life. So in the previous verse, Arjuna was speaking that when there is irreligion, the women in the family gets polluted, and because of that there would be degradation of the womanhood, and there will be unwanted progenies. That was the point Arjuna mentioned. Varna Sankaraha. Varna Sankara means unwanted population. So continuing to that, Arjuna is now here saying an increase in such unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family's tradition. So that will be this Varna Sankara will be causing hellish life in the sense completely it will be in the mode of ignorance, because there is no family traditions being followed, no religious principles being followed, because unwanted or unnecessary mixing of man and woman comes, and so there is no proper samskaras being followed. So definitely there is going to be hellish life. In the hellish life doesn't mean that we need to go to hell. Hellish life means that we'll be in the mode of ignorance. Basically we'll be having a lot of issues and problems and different things. So even it is said that in Srimad Bhagavatam, in many places it is said, if you are not following this properly, we may, you will be punished in the hell, or you will be getting hellish life. So this hellish life, or you will be going to the darkest region of the hellish life. So such terminologies we can see in the Bhagavatam also. So that doesn't mean that only, of course, there could be a probability of going to hell, because there is something called hell also. Hell is there. It's one of the lowest planetary system. There is a place called as hell, or naraka, definitely punishment is being given there. So some many times, but in the scriptures, when it speaks about hellish life or hellish condition or hellish situation, or maybe darkest region of the material existence, like that, different terminology will be coming across. So that not necessarily mean that we will be going to the hell planet and suffer. It could be in any planets. It could be in any planet, even in the earthly planet, but our life will be in a hellish condition. Means we will be having a lot of issues, lot of problems, lot of completely devoid of Krishna consciousness. So that is called as hellish life, basically. So here Arjuna is saying that actually that will be in the will be in the earthly planet only for the time being, and they will be having hellish life because the family tradition is lost. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. So this is again a samskara. This is a samskara because we know that that's called as pindadana samskara or shraddha samskara. We have heard about this, right? If our anybody is passing away in our family, we do the pindadana samskara, etc., right? So that tradition, and every year during that tithi we do the same process of that of the departed soul, for the departed soul. So that is called this pindadana samskara, etc. So these samskaras also will be lost because there is who will be there to do the pindadana samskara. It is varna sangara, means mixed unwanted progenies, and who is going to follow the family traditions and all these samskaras. So Arjuna is pointing out this very important point, that who is going to do all this pindadana samskara and all to our ancestors, who is going to offering food and water to ancestors, means pindadana basically. So all these traditions will be stopped. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, according to the rules and regulations of fruitive activities, there is a need to offer periodical food and water to the forefathers of the family. This offering is performed by the worship of Vishnu because eating the remnants of the food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful reactions. So according to rules and regulations of fruitive activities means, what is the meaning of that? According to Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means it's a part of the Vedic literature. Veda includes many informations, basically, many things. There are some sections for Karma Kanda, there are some section for Upasana Kanda, there are some section for Jnana Kanda. So what is the meaning of this Kanda? Kanda doesn't, it's basically a section. So Karma Kanda means it means that by performing some of the rituals or some of the processes what is mentioned in the Vedas, we will be getting material profits, material benefits, like for example good money, good health, good all kind of auspiciousness, in the sense all material things basically. So that section of Vedas are called as Karma Kanda. Jnana Kanda is some other section where it says about cultivation of the knowledge, cultivation of the transcendental or spiritual knowledge. That is one section. And third section, we can say Upasana Kanda is basically speaking about bhakti, performing devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So different people have different inclinations. That is why Srila Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of Krishna, he has given this Vedas like this. He has not restricted only for people who are interested in bhakti. He has given the Vedas in such a way that anybody in any modes of nature, means whether he is in Sattva-guna, whether he is in Tamo-guna or in Rajo-guna, for everybody Veda Vyasa has included sections in the scriptures. So it is basically for their gradual progress in spiritual consciousness. That is the process. Because people who are in the mode of ignorance, what will happen? They can't understand anything about bhakti. So for them, there should be some medicine which is in the very low dose, because bhakti is a high dose medicine. It can't be taken by everybody. It will not be digesting, it will not be working for everyone, because they will feel they will not be feeling any kind of inclination. So different people have different inclination, different gunas, that so not everybody will be taking the same medicine according to our capacity only. For example, doctor also like that, right? Doctor will see our health conditions, accordingly he will prescribe the medicines, right? So dose also will be different. For example, the same medicine, the dose will be different for a child and for an adult, right? Similarly, Vedas is having all the different sections for catering to all kinds of people. So for the Karma Kanda section, wherein just basically that section is basically specifying about different ritualistic processes and following some rules and regulations, following it's again in the scriptures, but so many pujas and so many yajnas for the demigods and all, for the devatas, and get some material benefit out of it. So that this karma kanda, basically this shraddha and all are basically mentioned in that section, because that is not directly a bhakti process, but still it's a process which we need to follow until we become pure devotees, because we are all contaminated and we don't have proper consciousness. So this pindadana, samskara, etc. we have to follow until we become pure devotees. So till that we need to follow. So basically that section of Vedas are giving this information, rules and regulations of fruitive activity. That is why it is meant, fruitive activities means basically karma kanda section. So I was trying to explain what is that. Okay. Anyway, so this pindadana, everybody knows, pindadana or shraddha ceremony we do. So that is what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. Offering periodical food and water means every year on that particular tithi we do that, right? So that offering is basically done it's a worship of Vishnu. Basically what we are doing is that during that shraddha or pindadan, what we are doing is actually we are offering the food to Lord Vishnu, and that the remnants of Vishnu means prasada of Vishnu is being offered to the forefathers. This is what it should happen. This is what should happen during the pindadana. But we don't know now what all things are happening. Anyway, when depending upon the pujari or the brahman or the person who is helping, or the priest who is doing this samskara basically. But this should be the process: offering to the Supreme Lord first, Vishnu or Krishna, and then remnants or prasadam to the forefathers, like that. So they are getting the benefit of prasadam because that's an offered food to Vishnu, right? Like that. So sometimes, it is said that it can deliver one from all kinds of sinful reactions. So that is the power of prasadam, because prasadam is so powerful. That's Krishna's remnants or Vishnu's remnants of the foodstuffs, and that if anybody is taking prasadam, then that person's sinful reactions and so many contaminations or our cleansing process will happen. So similarly, so the pindadana, actually if we are doing properly, that will be a benefit for our forefathers. If they have not got spiritual credits, much spiritual credits, this would be a good thing to do for them actually. So sometimes the forefathers, Srila Prabhupada says further, sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reactions. And sometimes some of them cannot even acquire a gross material body and are forced to remain in the subtle bodies as ghosts. This is also happens. These ghosts and all are actually real thing. It's not an imaginary thing actually. What will happen? So if we are, during death, if we have not practiced Krishna consciousness or bhakti properly, and we were doing so many sinful things, sinful wrong mistakes, and all bad things if we have done, then we may not get a human form for sure, and we may get a animal form, but that is also not sure, depending upon the sins we are doing. Sometimes we may not even get a body for some time. We will be waiting for a next body, and until that we will be like a ghost. No, so it is not a it is not a false thing actually. There are ghosts, and even people who are dying, or we can what is they doing suicide and all, because their quota for being in that particular body might not have finished, but they are deliberately, they are voluntarily, dying, or doing some things, uh, and they are doing suicide. Then what will happen? Their quota has not finished. Maybe, for example, a person, he is supposed to live in that particular body for 70 years, for example, and if that person is committing suicide at the age of 35 or 40, then the remaining 30 years, what will happen? Because he did not finish his quota. So, and that person, if he is a very sinful person, definitely to get another body is very, very difficult. Then he will have to stay like a ghost for maybe many years to get another body. Until, somebody who's doing some, if their, family members are doing some, like Pindadana, etc., for that lost person, by that maybe that person who has not got a body may get a body soon, by that performances, religious performances, or by praying for them, by chanting for them, by doing pindadana, etc., they may get spiritual credits, and soon or later they may get a human body also. So like that, so that's the purpose of these samskaras. Thus when the remnants of prasadam, food, are offered to the forefathers by descendants, the forefathers are released from the ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. So already we discussed this. Such help rendered to forefathers is a family tradition. So this is a family tradition basically. And those who are not in devotional service are required to perform such rituals. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that those who are not in devotional service are required to perform. Means those who are not following not in Krishna consciousness completely, they have to do all this kind of performance. Because if we are doing devotional service, if we are chanting Krishna's names, if we are doing devotional service, then definitely all the benefits of these kind of samskaras will be getting automatically by performing devotional service. We don't have to do separate kind of rituals, because by devotional service is so powerful that it can give you all the results of all the yajnas or any kind of processes. One who is engaged in the devotional service is not required to perform such actions. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. So that is the point. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that if we are completely engaged in devotional service, then no need to do this, these kind of rituals. But if not, we'll have to do. So Srila Prabhupada is actually anticipating, or meaning here, he is he's pointing that if we are really a pure devotee, or we are completely fully engaged, 24 hours we are engaged in Krishna's service, then okay, we don't have to do all these rituals. Otherwise, if we are not in that position, then we'll have to do also for some time. So for example, those who are taking the renounced order of life like sannyasam and all, they will not be doing any kind of this pindadana, etc., for their forefathers, or for their lost father or mother. So because they have completely dedicated their body, mind and words in Krishna service, so for them it is not applicable. I mean, it's not required to do. But for us, until that's the suggestion. Even though Srila Prabhupada is saying here, he is expecting all of us to become pure devotees, basically, or engaging in devotional service full time. So in that case, yes, we don't have to do it. So because the devotional service is so powerful, that's the point Srila Prabhupada is making here, that the devotional service is so powerful that all these ritualistic things will be taking a back seat in front of devotional service, and whatever benefits we are getting from the rituals, more benefits will get from devotional service. So here you can see Srila Prabhupada says hundreds and thousands of forefathers will be delivered if we are performing devotional service. So this happened, in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, right? Prahlad's father Hiranyakashipu was the most dangerous, most sinful, or most what to say, uh, bad person, right? He was an asura. He was like a terrorist. World's, or we can say, the biggest terrorist of this universe. What? He was such a person, but because Prahlad was a pure devotee, and when Narasimhadev appeared to Prahlad, he asked him, "What do you want? I am ready to give you any benediction." Prahlad said, "I don't want anything." So that time Narasimhadev said, "Even though you are not asking me, I am giving you some benedictions." So one of the benediction was this. He said, 21 generations of you will be delivered. Prahlad's 21 generation, because Prahlad is born in an Asura family. So all the forefather Asuras will be delivered. That was a promise, because Prahlad was a pure devotee. So because of the benefit, because of one devotee in the family, everybody is getting benefited. That's the power of devotional service. So if we are doing devotional service sincerely, that some effect will be positive, benefit will be getting for our family members also. Even if they are not following, if they follow, that's the best. If not, they also will get some benefit. So there is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, it is quoted here, 11.5.41. देवश्री भूताप्त नृणां पितॄणां न किंकरो नायं ऋणी च राजन् सर्वात्मनाया शरणं शरण्यं गतो मुकुन्दं परिहृत्य कर्तम्. Anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligations to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, and forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by the performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the point. This is the reference of what we discussed. So if we have taken, if one has taken complete shelter unto the lotus feet of Mukunda. Mukunda is Krishna. And Mukunda means one who is giving liberation. Who can give liberation? Only Vishnu or Krishna can give liberation. Nobody else. Not even demigods. Demigods can't give anything. Devadas cannot give liberation. Devadas can give us material benedictions, but no liberation. Liberation is only the property, only the, only can be done by Mukunda or Krishna or Vishnu. Okay. So if you are performing devotional service, what is the benefit? All the duties, obligations to the demigods, because we have obligations to the demigods or devatas, we have obligation to the family members, we have obligation to the forefathers, we have obligation to the human society, right? And even to the living entities, because we are depending upon all of these people. We are depending upon devatas for many things, like sun god, moon god, all of them are supplying the necessities of our life. So we have some obligation, and we have obligation to our family members. We have obligation to our forefathers, who because of them we are in a proper family tradition, and we have obligation to all the humans in the society, because many people are helping us in different ways, and we have obligation to the animals like cows and so many and we have obligation to plants, trees, and all. They are giving fruits, vegetables. So we have obligations to many, right? Many living entities, but if you are performing devotional service, because it's like performing devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna is like watering the root of the tree, because all these obligations basically all of them are coming under Krishna only, basically, right? So if we are watering on the root of the tree, all the parts of the trees is getting benefited. Similarly, if you are performing devotional service of Krishna or Vishnu, then all the demigods, forefathers, everybody will get its profit. So that's the point. Yes. Okay, next verse. Dosher ite kulagnanam varna sankara karakai utsadyante jati dharmaha kula dharmascha shashvataha. Yes, somebody can read, please. Recite the verse.
Hare Krishna. दोषैरेतैकुलज्ञानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यते चादिधर्मा कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः.
Thank you. Translation, someone please.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, you can read.
Thank
Hare
you, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by discipline succession.
Mataji, you are reading some different verse. I am 42, chapter number 1.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
42.
By Srila Prabhupada. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So further, Arjuna says, by the evil deeds of those, means the unwanted population, and who destroy the family tradition. So further, Varna Sangara will happen, and family tradition will be completely destroyed. They again thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects, all kinds of jadi dharma basically. Jadi community projects means jadi dharma, and family welfare activities, kula dharma. So kula dharma, jati dharma, these are all traditions basically, family traditions and community, and our traditions, or we can say that our dharma to the community, our dharma to the kula family, everything will be devastated. That's the point Arjuna is making here. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, community projects for the four orders of the human society, combined with the family welfare activities as they are set forth by the institution of Sanatana Dharma or Varnashrama Dharma, are designed to enable that human beings to attain the ultimate salvation. So why all this Jati Dharma is there? Why there is Kula Dharma? Everything, all these kind of things are basically from based on the Sanatana Dharma or Varnashrama Dharma, we can say, according to the four orders of human society, means different varnas like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudras. This is the four varnas, and four ashramas are Sannyasi, Brahmachari, Grihastha and Vanaprastha. So these are the four varnas and four ashramas. So basically that is the order of human society, four orders of human society. And why this Varnashrama Dharma is there? Why there is Kula Dharma? Why there is why there is Jati Dharma? All these are there for what? Actually Krishna has provided this through the Vedas. For what? It is only to enable a human being to attain mukti, or it is not to only while living here we can live nicely, we can live in a very happy way, because if we are following this dharmas, we will be happy in this world, in the sense we can live peacefully without much problems. But definitely, all problems will not be solved. We will be going through so many internal issues, like in the sense adhyatmika kleshas, like the miseries caused by our mind and body, etc. And also we will be going through some natural calamities, and we will be going through health crisis, and we will be finally dying also. So definitely those problems we can't change. As long as we are in this material world, we have to go through those. But still, we will be, if we are following Sanatana Dharma or Varnashrama Dharma, basically, we will be having a proper, we will get food properly, we will have a shelter properly. So these are the main things which we need to live, right? So that will be fulfilled automatically. And so, but that isn't that is only a temporary benefit of Varnashrama Dharma. But the ultimate purpose, not benefit, temporary purpose of Varnashrama Dharma. When we live here, we will have a peaceful life. But ultimately, Varnashrama Dharma is not meant for that. Varnashrama Dharma's actual purpose is to mold all of us, to make us ready, or to increase, or we can say that to elevate all of our consciousness to Krishna consciousness, and finally getting out of this material world. So ultimately, Varnashrama Dharma should point out, this point particularly for helping us to getting out of this world. So it's not only for living here, basically. So ultimate purpose is that. So salvation means mukti or liberation. So therefore, the breaking of Sanatana Dharma tradition by the irresponsible leaders of the society brings about chaos in that society, and consequently people forget the aim of life, Vishnu. Such leaders are called blind, and persons who follow such leaders are sure to be led into chaos. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that if we are breaking the Sanatana Dharma or Varnashrama Dharma, all these traditions, what will happen? It will be a chaos, because we are forgetting the aim of life. Because Sanatana Dharma will ultimately, bring us to Krishna or Vishnu. That is the purpose. But if there is no dharma followed, then completely all these systems are gone, traditions are gone, and we forget our aim of life, and we will become blind. And if the leaders are like that, if the leaders are not promoting Sanatana Dharma, then definitely the citizen will never follow that. Right? It's like that. So if the leader is following dharma, or if the leader is a devotee, definitely the citizen will become devotees. We can see this in the during the time of Yudhishthira Maharaj or even Parikshit Maharaj. When they were ruling the world, they were ruling the entire world basically. So it is said that in the scriptures, the mother earth was supplying everything in surplus. There is no scarcity of anything. Surplus milk, surplus food grains, surplus of vegetables, plants, fruits, everything is in surplus, more than required. The reason is that Mother Earth was very happy, because they were the rulers were devotees. So Yudhishthira Maharaj and Parikshit Maharaj, they were following the proper dharma, and they were devotees, and they were promoting Krishna consciousness. They were promoting God consciousness in the society, and because of that, all the citizens are devotees. They are also following the leader, and consequently, what is happening? Everything is in good shape, because the Mother Earth is happy. If we are properly following the dharma, if we are properly following the Vedas, Mother Earth will be happy, and she will be ready to supply anything. But if we are not following the things, then Mother Earth will be not happy. So that is the reason, dear devotees, nowadays we have so much scarcity for many things. There are places where we don't get water. There is no water, there is no food. Why all these are happening? Because we are misusing the Mother Earth. First of all, we are torturing the Mother Earth by doing so many unnecessary things, so many factories, drilling, slaughtering of animals. So many. These are all polluting Mother Earth. So we are torturing the Mother Earth. Plus, nobody is following God consciousness. Both of these things are not there. So how Mother Earth will be happy? So definitely there will be problems. So that is the reason of all the problems in this world now, because people are not God conscious. That's the ultimate root cause of all the problems. People are not God conscious. If we are God conscious, if we are Krishna conscious, then who is going to slaughter animals? Nobody will do if you are Krishna conscious, right? And if we are Krishna conscious, we will not be fighting each other. Just like one country is fighting with other country with nuclear weapons and all the weapons, and killing so many people, right? Why all these things are happening? Because nobody is God conscious. So the root cause of all problem is lack of spirituality. That is the root cause of all problems in this world. So we may not be able to change the entire world, dear devotees. That's okay, fine. At least let us start from our home. Let us follow this first. and try to give this to people who are ready to take it. That's all we can do. But that will be a good start. That will be a good start. And people will be, if people are interested, they will follow us also. So like that. Charity begins from home, right? There is a saying that charity should begin from home. So we should work. We should do first. We should follow this spiritual process, and we should try to give to others. That's what we can do. So as much as they can take, they are taking. We will try our best, but maybe not the entire world. But at least if one person can come, if we can change one person, or if we can bring one person into Krishna consciousness, then that is a big thing. Very, very, it's a big, very, very big achievement. Srila Prabhupada, he used to tell that to make one devotee, we have to give up gallons of blood, he says. Means that, what is the meaning of that? Means so much effort is required. It's not easy because the world is completely, going in a different direction. Completely going out of spiritual consciousness. Completely going in a opposite direction. All the bad things are happening. Illicit activities. And so much slaughtering is happening. Animal killing. So much intoxications, drinking, alcohol, smoking, all these things are not Vedic things. This is completely against the Vedas. All the illicit sexual things and all, everything these are irreligious activities. Because people are not following the dharma properly, that is why the problems are there in this world. Unfortunately, nobody is understanding. Anyways, Utsanna kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana narage niyatam vaso bhavatiti anushushruma. Yes. Anybody, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Oh,
No problem, Mataji. Please go ahead.
okay. Utsana kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vaso bhavatiti anushushma.
Thank you. Translation.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Arjuna says, O Krishna, maintainer of the people. He is now calling him Janardana. Janardana. So Janardana means maintainer. Again, another name of Krishna. O Krishna, O Janardana, I have heard by disciplic succession, I have heard from my superiors that once that those family traditions are destroyed, dwell always in hell. So if the family traditions are destroyed, we'll be having a hellish life. That is the point Arjuna is making. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna bases his argument not on his own personal experience, but on what he has heard from the authorities. That is the way of receiving real knowledge. Srila Prabhupada is making a good point from this Arjuna statement. So he said, I have heard by disciplic succession. Anushrushruма means I have heard from this disciplic succession means from the parampara. From the parampara I have heard. So Srila Prabhupada is making this beautiful point that is the right way of receiving knowledge. We have to hear from the authorities. So authorities are basically parampara. One cannot, Guru Parampara system, I mean to say. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. So this is the point, right? If you are going to school, a teacher is teaching us that particular subject. because she already knew that. She is aware about that subject. That is why she is teaching us. Similarly, spiritual things, all this dharma and all, we need to approach a bona fide guru for that, to understand. So it should come from a disciplic succession, means it is passing on to different generations in a proper chain of disciplic succession, and we should gain the such knowledge through that particular parampara system. So there is a system in the varnashrama institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for all his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in the sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called as prayashchitta. Without doing so, one surely will transfer to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as a result of sinful activities. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying that as per Varnashrama system, we have to do prayashchitta for all the sinful activities we are doing. That's the right, that is correct. We will have to do prayashchitta or atonement for all the sins we are doing. For example, if we are doing sins, some particular sin, we are doing some particular puja or some kind of rituals to neutralize that sin. Just giving an example, gross example, that is called as prayashchitta, because prayashchittas are mentioned in the Vedas. If we are not doing that, what will happen? We will be going to the hellish planets for suffering for that particular sin. But dear devotees, the point is that prayashchitta is again not permanent. In the sense, if I am doing a sin and a particular prayashchitta is mentioned in the Veda, okay, or in the Karma Kanda section of Veda, okay, if you are performing this, if you have done this sin, if you do this particular yajna, and you will be saved from this sin, or your sin will be neutralized. But what is happening is that I may do that and I will continue doing the same sin again and again, because I know that something is there, some solution is there, some prayashchitta is already there. So no problem, even if I am doing it, repeatedly doing it, I can do the prayashchitta and I can neutralize it. But that is completely wrong. That is completely wrong, and that will not work like that. Prayashchitta process are given, but that will not give us ultimate benefit actually. So ultimately, this prayashchitta is nothing but like, it is said that by Parikshit Maharaj in Bhagavatam, that it is like elephant bath. How the elephant will take bath? Elephant, you would have seen elephant in our villages. They go to nice, river and took very nice, elaborate 2-3 hours bath, and once they come out of the river, what they will do? They will throw the dust again on their body, right? So similarly, if we are doing some sins and if we are doing prayashchitta, it is like we are performing a temporary bath in the river and coming out again doing the wrong thing. So that is wrong. That is completely not a good practice basically. So in some traditions we know that if we are committing some sin, we go to the church and speak our whatever sins we have done to the priest, and it's kind of confession, right? But what is the result of it? Ultimately, once they come out of the church, they are going to do the same sin again, and next week again go and confess. What is the point? Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question to Shukadeva Goswami in the Bhagavatam. People are like this. What is the point of prayashchitta actually? There is no meaning at all. It's like an elephant bath. Then Shukadeva Goswami was very happy to hear this from Parikshit Maharaj. He said, you are right. You are right, Parikshit. So this prayashchitta will not work. So what we have to do, he said, we have to do devotional service. We have to do bhakti. By starting with chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chanting the holy names. That's how we should do. That is not prayashchitta. That is above prayashchitta. Ultimately, it is the prayashchitta doesn't. So the problem is that prayashchitta doesn't take the sinful inclinations in our heart. It is not taking out that. If you are doing some sin, that if you do prayaschitta, only that particularly for that reaction, prayaschitta will work. But our sinful tendency in our heart, or our sinful inclination in our heart, that vasana will not go. It has to be uprooted. Then only we will not repeat the sin. Otherwise, we will continue doing it. So we have to again give medicine to the root problem, not just a temporary issue, right? For example, if we are having some infection, external infection, externally it has been manifested as an infection. So we may do some temporary cream or something, just to reduce the itching of it, for example. But actually the problem will be in the blood. In the blood there will be some infection. So we'll have to take antibiotics orally. That cream might not work. It will not work after some time. I'm just giving a gross example. So it is like prayaschitta is like just trying to give some cream to that particular itching, or any issues in your skin. But that is not going to give us a permanent solution. Unless and until we take the antibiotics, the contamination, the infection in the blood should go. Then only this will completely be cured, right? Similarly, by performing bhakti, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that will uproot all these sinful tendencies from our heart. That is the power of bhakti. So this is what Shukadeva Goswami is suggesting, telling Parikshit Maharaj, you are right, and this is what we need to do. And then he starts speaking about Ajamila's pastime in Bhagavad. That Ajamila was such a sinful person, but by chanting Krishna's name, Narayana's name, he is delivered. He is gone back to Godhead. So that's how the context. So here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says about prayaschitta, it is required for it should be done for those who are not following bhakti, for sure. Otherwise, they will be going to hell. But if a person who is already in Krishna consciousness or who is practicing Krishna consciousness, we don't have to do separately any prayaschitta as per Karma Kanda. We have to just chant holy names. We have to pray to Krishna that I don't want to repeat this mistake again, this sin again. I know that it is a sin. I don't want to repeat it again. So please help me. So we have to beg Krishna's mercy, and we should chant holy names. We should do devotional services and serve the Vaishnavas. And slowly, gradually, what will happen? All these sinful tendencies in our heart will be uprooted completely uprooted. Then we will not do the sins. So bhakti is not only removing the reaction of it. It is actually removing the root cause of the problem. So that's the power of bhakti. Okay. Right. So we are on time. So let's stop here. We will continue our discussion from next week. From the 44th verse next week. Krishna willing. Thank you for your association. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. श्री भगवद गीता की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, गौड़ीय गुरु वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, श्री जय जय श्री राधे श्याम. Thank you.